A Free-Flowing Failure by Peter Buzzacott. The diver was a 24-year-old woman who was first certified to dive the previous year. She was 1.5 meters tall, weighed 63 kilograms, and had a body mass index of 24. Since her certification, she had made a total of 50 dives, 30 of which had been in the prior 12 months. The maximum depth was 40 meters. The diver was part of a group that were visiting a local inland dive site. Soon after she entered the water, before descending, her octopus hose or turnip second stage hose started flying around wildly, slapping the water and making loud, free-flowing sounds. She did not initially know what was happening and attempted to grasp the hose. The diver's buddy turned off the tank valve and the hose went limp. This all occurred in chest-deep water at the surface while the divers were putting on their fins before the dive. On close inspection, the diver discovered that the plastic octopus regulator had completely broken away from the hose. The regular second stage fell to the bottom and the hose was left in a free-flowing state. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but the diver reported that the incident was rather scary, especially because it was so unexpected. The cause of this incident was a plastic second-stage octopus regulator breaking away under pressure. In most regulators, the metal fitting at the end of the hose is attached to the metal part of the second stage, which contains the valve that opens to provide air when the diver inhales. In this case, the attachment point was also plastic, and it gave way under the pressure of the hose. This diver and her companions were lucky enough that no one was harmed. It was also fortunate that the regulator did not detach itself underwater while the diver was at depth. Experiments have shown that a scuba tank will empty far more quickly if a low-pressure hose such as from a regulator or inflator hose bursts, than if the high-pressure hose for the submersible pressure gauge bursts. This is because the low-pressure hose has much larger holes, and so there's less restriction. The difference is significant. A low-pressure hose can empty a scuba tank in less than a minute, whereas a burst high-pressure hose may take 10 minutes or more. Divers should regularly inspect their hoses for wear and tear, especially every time regulators are rented or borrowed. In this incident, however, the hose was not the component that failed under pressure. It was the second stage regulator. Of course, the net effect was the same, but in speaking with scuba equipment experts, Dan researchers discovered that this particular type of second stage regulator had not been manufactured for many years. This could be a clue why it failed on this particular occasion. Dan located a similar second stage to the one the diver had been using, and under a magnifying glass, micro cracks could already be seen in the port of the low-pressure hose. It seems that the diver was using an older second stage as her octopus, and despite regular servicing, the plastic had started to deteriorate. Micro cracks were formed where the hose attached. These can be hard to spot without meticulous inspection. Because this incident highlights a potential point of failure, and because the failure can empty a tank in less than a minute regardless of depth, Dan urges all divers who have older second stages to have them inspected for micro cracks in the plastic. Again, fortunately, no one was injured in this particular incident. The octopus and hose were swapped out, and the diver was able to continue diving. Thankfully also, the diver's buddy was wearing a video camera on his head at the time and captured the whole event. All the divers gave permission for the video clip to be posted on the Dan website for diving incidents. We thank these divers for sharing the significant incident, which may well prevent it from happening to another diver. We also encourage any diver who experiences an unplanned event or incident during a dive to file an incident report through the Dan website.